In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at some Bitcoin cycle awareness. We're going to look at it from three different angles, and we're going to find out why things might be rhyming. Something's out of place. Something appears to be different. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that and hit the thumbs up. All right, let's get into it. And we're starting this off lining up three cycles, 2012, 2016, and 2020 from the halving dates. So the cycles are named from the year the halving occurred, right? Halving is every 210,000 blocks, which is roughly 4 years. You see a halving of the miner's reward. And all three of these cycles are being lined up to here as we're getting close to the next halving event that is towards the end of April 2024. First thing we're going to look at is where we are today, which is roughly today. This is the 12th. Today is the 16th. Roughly 1,131 days past the halving. And at that point in time, the 2012 cycle was showing a return of 2,882%. If we go ahead and we look at then at the 2016 cycle, we see that was looking about half the amount, 1,441%. And then so diminishing returns, you might be looking at diminishing returns. And maybe then if we have another, there should be about 700%, but it's not. It's about 244%. So we are looking at some diminishing volatility. We saw it on the upside. We've seen it thus far on the downside as price only coming off, what was it, about 75% from the all-time high compared to 85% in the previous two cycles. But thus far, we are also lagging in volatility. We could look at it from this way as well. And we're going to go ahead and look at that first cycle and off the bottom to this point where we are right now. Now, not looking at off the halving anymore. When I say I'm not lining it up from the halving, I'm lining it up off of the low. And off of the low, so we talked about there's also a lot of similarities happening. This was thus far 149%. Go ahead and look at the second cycle at this particular point where we are today. Off of the low, it's 267. So I'm kind of doing off the low and where we are, how many days off the halving. So I'm adding those two together. And then we look at this cycle is 97%. So from the low until the day of the halving, we had roughly a 274% gain. From the low to the point of the halving, I'm trying to get that a little bit more exact so we know, say 230%. These are rough sketches over here. And to where the expected halving is right now for us to be somewhere in that neighborhood of between 230 and 270, even if we've seen diminishing returns and we're somewhere around 200%, you're talking about making it maybe to the 0.786 fib around the time of the halving. So that would rhyme a lot with what happened over here in this cycle. It was right before the halving that we were able to see price tag the 0.786 fib. In the second cycle, we were able to tag it well before, and then roughly coming into the halving, about 230% off the low. So it is possible that around the time of the halving, if we're able to continue rhyming, we could be somewhere around the 0.786 fib. Now, if we were 230%, which we saw last cycle, that would then have us just above that fib, and 260% would have us at a decent price, 56,000, 57,000. Now, we are seeing thus far diminishing volatility, and that might continue. And if that were to continue, we might have something like 106 off the low, somewhere around 32,000. Actually, if you bear with me for a minute, I want to show you what that might look like. So let's go over here together. Let me jump over and show you what that might look like from a different level. And we're going to go ahead and look at Bitcoin's price prediction for the 2024 halving. Now, this is lining these up off of the all-time highs. You could see that this was put out over here off of November, right about the low, right close to the low. And then we're going to go ahead and see where we are now. All right, so you can see it seems to be on time thus far right now. And then we have this circle over here. Interesting that aligning them from the high, their all-time high, that at the time of the halving they converged around here. That's around 24,000, 25,000 más o menos. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that might be. And that would be, well, I guess it's interesting. It's just interesting so much as this. How's this for some 4-year cycle gameplay, some 4-year cycle awareness? Let me go ahead and make this a different color. Let me make it yellow and make this bright. And you could see at the time of the halving, price is on that trend line. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. Make this one yellow. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. And at the time of the halving, price is right around there. And then from what we just looked at, or one of the vantage points we just looked at, had price somewhere around 25,000 potentially at the time of the halving. And once again, that could potentially line up like that. I hope you enjoyed having a little bit of fun going over this 4-year cycle awareness together. If you did, please go ahead, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe, hit the bell for more. Have a beautiful day, everyone.